Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Thursday. It is the 10th of July, 2025. Going to look the 5th and 8th race, De La Rosa Stakes, the split divisions of both those races. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And I mean it, hopefully around the world. We're still in that in-between phase between, getting my apartment 100% finished with construction. But hopefully next week we'll be back to normal, hopefully. But I said the same thing about this week, but it's not happening. But let's look at the featured De La Rosas. The races 5 and 8 from Saratoga, the 5th race, and it's also traditionally opening day from Saratoga if you want to go by that, the proper terminology. But it seems like we've had like 5 opening days this year at Saratoga. But let's get to the 5th race, the first division of the De La Rose Stakes. It's going for $135,000 purse race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses entered. 9 and 10 are both MTO, so 8 will head to the Lightning course of the inner turf course. The distance of ground is 1,600 meters or a mile on the inner turf course. I'm going to take the 3-horse Deep Satin as a top selection. 3-4-5-2 for me in the superfecta. 3-4-5-2 super, top selection 3-horse Deep Satin, favored by American Pharoah. Cherie DeVoe trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently, the 1st June at Churchill, mile 16th in the Grade 3 Mint Julep, and he finished 5th by 5 3/4 lengths that day. Had a very, very wide trip and just really couldn't gain ground. Never weakened out of it, but just was never gaining that day. I think with a quicker pace, hopefully in this one, hopefully staying a little bit closer to this lightning fast turf course, I think he'd get the job done. It hasn't rained a lot at Saratoga the last few weeks, so it's going to be the theme of the next few weeks, or for at least this week. The turf course is playing towards speed, especially this inner turf course. Mellon is actually is playing fairly, but this one is just completely biased, so just keep that in mind. But you need the race in the Menjula. But he ran first off the bench at Keeneland prior to that, a mile 16th in a allowance race for 120,000, where he finished second by a neck, and he drifted in the lane, which cost him. He had a great trip all throughout. He had a great turn of foot, but then he just couldn't keep the straight course. Sweet Rebecca caught this horse at the wire. What can you do? He ran his heart out that day in the feud. And then last September in the Virginia Oaks at Colonial, mile 8th on the inner turf course, won by 2 1/4 lengths from a tracking trip. He had to game it out to the wire, but he got the job done with a dead heat that day. A very, very good run with the winner style points there. And then prior to that, the main special weight here at Saratoga with the mile 16th on the inner, winning by 3 lengths. A very good race. Training well locally on the Oklahoma. I'm going to give this horse on the ticket. I think the 4-horse Heredia for Manny Franco and Graham Moshquin also. First start in a year and a half came in the Bugay at Aqueduct, mile 16th in early May, where he finished 3rd by length and an all-out finish. Just couldn't get there late. Dynamic pricing was the next start winner. Just had the jump on this horse, but for being her first start since the fall of 23, I didn't think it was a half bad race. That race in the fall of 23 came in the Group 1 Sun Chariot Stakes at Newmarket over the Rolly Mile. 1 mile trip there. He finished 3rd by 4 1/4 lengths behind the Great Inspiral, who was the next start winner in the Breeders' Cup. This horse just couldn't get there and just, couldn't catch the Great Mare there. And then before then, the Group 3 Atlantia Stakes at Sandown over the mile. He finished winning by 3/4 length that day from a track and trip, won quite easily, and won the Dick Hearn prior to that Haydock quite easily. There's a little bit gaps between races, but has run very good races against some decent mares in the past. Coming here at 3-1, I'm definitely going to give her a shot on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the first division, the 5th race of the De La Rose Stakes from Saratoga, I'm going to take 3-horse Deep Satin, give kudos to the 4-horse Heredia, 3-4-5-2 Super, 3-4 in the multi-race. Heading over to race number 8 now, the second division of the De La Rose Stakes. Again, $135,000 purse race, fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 11 horses entered, 9 through 11 are MTO, so 8 will head 1,600 meters or a mile on the inner turf course. I'm going to go with the 3-horse Polka Mucha as a top selection, 3-4-1-5 for me in the superfecta. 3-4-1-5 super, top selection 3-horse Polka Mucha, several mare by tourists here. Bill trains. Jose Lezcano gets them out. Is stepping up in some class from her previous race, which came in an allowance race at Saratoga, mile 8th on the 13th of January. In track record time, the winner took off clear. This horse finished 3rd by 5 3/4 lengths on a very lightning fast turf course. She's kind of stalked all around the race course. The winner had the jump on her. Being at first starts in September, she needed the race. Coming here second off bench, come to Saratoga where this horse run very sneaky good in the past. I think she could find a trip to win. She ran 2 back in the grade 3 Noble Damsel at Aqueduct, a mile on the inner turf course, 21st September, finishing fifth by 3 lengths that day. She didn't get out of the gate so clearly, which cost her. She was a little bit wide. She moved a little bit late, but she still needs something more. And then she ran this race last year. It was off the turf of the Wilson Mile locally, and she won by 14 and a quarter lengths that day. She took off clear. That was a very good run. With it also being her first start since December of 23, that came at Gulfstream, 1 mile on the Shawnee River, where she ran horribly. She studied, and she just did not like that very narrow turf course. But her races on this turf course in the past haven't been half bad. She placed in a very nice optional 82 summers ago, going a mile and eighth, and then you had a very good second before that on opening weekend of 23, where she just couldn't catch the winner Samea, who just had the jump on her. But again, both those races on this inner turf course weren't bad at all. She has some, if she, she hasn't showed pace in a while, but she wants to show some pace. I think she can stay a little close here where she's drawn. It wouldn't bother me. And the way turf course is running wouldn't bother me either. At 12 to 1, I'm going to give her a shot on the ticket. I think she's run races fast enough to win here. I think the four is moving on up for Irad, and Savvy could win also. Was a winner at three back in the Sand Springs at Gulfstream quite impressively by 3 lengths from a tracking trip. Came back running the Churchill Distaff Turf Mile Derby weekend where she had a decent third place finish, and then in the mid julep she had a decent third place finish where she just had to stop in the lane, which probably cost her a place. I don't know if she was going to win, but it cost her a place. But again, got down the race course well. Her forms hasn't been half bad as of recently. Coming here back to Saratoga, I'm going to give her a shot on the ticket. And also watch out for the one horse here, Ozara from Miguel Clement and Dylan Davis. The win two back in the Monroe at Gulfstream wasn't quite impressive. Came back to run in the Eatontown at Monmouth, where she just couldn't get there late. I just thought it was a little bit too far back. But another horse coming here to Saratoga. She won here quite a few seasons ago, quite impressively. I'll give her a shot 7-2 in this very wide open De La Rose. But to recount my selection for the eighth from Saratoga now, it's De La Rose going to take the three-horse Polka Mucha. Give kudos to the four-horse moving on up, and the one-horse Zara. 3-4-1-5 Super, 3-4-1 in the multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.